Japan and Peru, two countries with rich histories but very different leadership styles.
In this video, we'll explore how culture shapes leadership, what makes a good leader in each country, and how they handle ethics and responsibility.
For this project, we will use the globe model, the ESG dimensions, and the stakeholder theory.
And even talk to real people from Japan to find out how they see the differences. According to the Globe Project Leadership Dimensions, Japan values collectivism and human orientation the most. That means leaders in Japan often lead through consensus, respect, compassion, and discipline. The group comes before the individual. While it aligns with some global leadership trends, such as inclusive, sustainable, and digital leaderships. In the case of Japan, the most prominent leadership style is sustainable leadership, as they have a long-term vision and a strong focus on environmental efficiency. Although Japan is highly advanced in technology, digital leadership is less prominent because traditional leadership tends to be more conservative. Likewise, inclusive leadership is somewhat limited to the strong presence of traditional hierarchy. Now, let's compare some real leaders from Peru and Japan. First of all, Claudia Cooper, former Minister of Economy in Peru, is a participant and team-oriented leader. She values collaboration, transparency, and evidence-based decisions. Her leadership blends Peru's tradition, respect for hierarchy, with a modern push for inclusivity. As a woman in a male-oriented field, she's a role model for gender equity and inclusive policymaking in Latin America. Now, moving to Japan, we have Yuriko Koike. Yuriko Koike, governor of Tokyo, is charismatic and participative. She mixes traditional Japanese values like harmony, humility with bold, reform-driven leaderships. As Japan's first female governor, she promotes gender diversity, challenges conservative norms, and represents a shift toward modern, inclusive governance.
Sayonara.
Now in Peru, we have Julio Velarde, President of Peru's Central Bank. He is autonomous and self-protective. Known for his independence and discipline, he focuses on long-term stability over politics. His leadership reflects Peru's respect for technocratic expertise and institutional strength, indirectly supporting more inclusive economic environments.
Moving back to Japan, we have Kazuo Inamori, founder of Kyocera, who was a charismatic and human leader. His style was based in compassion, humility, and strong ethical value. He reflects Japanese culture, principle of harmony, serve to others, and collective well-being. Believing the putting of employing first was the key long-term success. On the other hand, we have Hernando de Soto. He's a Peruvian economist, is globally known for his work and property rights on the informal economy. He is an autonomous and charismatic leader, pushing for bold reforms that empower marginalized communities, specialized in developing nations. His ideas promote economic inclusion and opportunity. But last but not least, we have Eikyo Toyoda, former CEO of Toyota, lead with a team-oriented and stability-focused approach. His leadership reflects Japanese traditions of careful decision-making, group harmony, and protecting the company legacy. He embraces slow but steady innovation and support global growth while maintaining cultural identity. Peru shows emotionally and flexible leadership with growing diversity despite challenge, while Japan's leadership is structured and collective, advising slowly with steadily in inclusion. Both countries are evolving each in their own cultural way.
But leadership isn't just about theory. So, we asked people from Japan what differences they noticed between leadership in Japan and Peru.
Hi Hiroshi, hi Aiko. Thank you both for joining us. Can you start by introducing yourselves?
Konnichiwa. Haremashi. Aiko.
Hello, what is your name?
My name is Hitoshi Isa.
And where are you from?
I'm from Okinawa.
Okay, so I know that you are both from Japan. What do you enjoy the most about living in Japan?
I said the ramen. We have a cat cafe.
Oh.
Cat cafe. Sushi is yummy too.
Definitely the food, because it's actually not that expensive. I'm actually thinking that it's as expensive as it is here.
That's wonderful. Are there any customs or habits in Japan that you think surprise visitors?
The no tipping. Tipping is disrespectful.
Yeah. I think the fact that people just leave their doors open, for example, people just cannot trust each other. They leave their things outside bars and stuff like that, and people simply don't steal them.
How do you feel about tradition in modern Japanese life?
I think it's nice and that many people should know and learn about it. You should get into it. It's good.
Well, it's actually been it's been lost in newer generations, which is just something that happens all around the world.
What advice would you give for someone who is visiting Japan for the first time?
Just look up the rules, be nice, and spend some yen.
Japanese people are very friendly, so I recommend that you guys should visit.
To try everything, because people are usually quite nice to tourists, so they are kind of willing to help strangers.
Okay, and now that you're here in Peru, what do you think it's very different from Japan here?
Yeah, the weather, it's
Very cold.
very cold.
Yeah, colder than Japan.
Well, in Japan, there's this thing called the train, and it actually works. So it goes with all public transport.
Thank you both so much. This has been really insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arigato.
Thank you so much. This has been really insightful.
Arigatou gozaimasu, konbanwa.
Thank you.
As you hear, Japanese leaders is often more indirect and formal, while Peruvian leadership is seen as warmer and more expressive.
ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. It's a way to measure how ethically and sustainably organizations lead. In Japan, ESG practices are well established. There's strong pressure from stakeholders to follow rules, reduce emissions, and be transparent, reflecting a mature and structured approach. In Peru, ESG is more of a developing area. Some companies are making progress in environmental regulation and labor conditions, but continue to face significant challenges such as pollution, social inequality, and corruption, slowing things down. This highlights the different stage of development and leadership maturity between the two nations. Still, leaders in both countries are learning that ethics and sustainability aren't optional, they are essential.
Now we're going to talk about the internal stakeholders. First of all, when it comes to managers, in Japan, managers are disciplined and humble, focused on long-term trust. They use tools like Slack or Teams formally, often to reinforce hierarchy, but they're open to blending Western innovation with Japanese values. Leadership emphasizes ningen ryoku, that means human strength, prioritizing emotional intelligence and consistency over charisma. On the other hand, in Peru, managers are more relational and flexible. Hybrid work has encouraged more open communication and flatter hierarchies. They are quicker to adopt global tools and ideas, even if formal leadership programs are less common. Now, when it comes to employees, Japanese employees have traditionally followed hierarchy, but that's changing now. Programs like cross-border training help them encourage more with leadership. The idea is happy employees, better business. It's not a zero-sum game. In Peru, employees expect leaders to be personal, visible, and emotionally intelligent. With less job security than Japan, leaders need to earn trust quickly and communicate openly. Finally, when it comes to investors, in Japan, investors prefer steady long-term growth, like turning a heavy wheel slowly until it gains unstoppable momentum. Leaders focus on decade-long visions, not quarterly gains.
So now talking about the external stakeholders. First of all, we have unions. Unions in Peru are often vocal and confrontational, pushing leaders to react quickly and negotiate under pressure. In contrast, Japanese unions tend to be more collaborative, encouraging leaders to focus on long-term stability and internal harmony. So now, regarding government influence, Peruvian regulations can shift unexpectedly, forcing leaders to adapt and prioritize short-term decisions. Meanwhile, Japan offers a stable legal environment where leaders follow clear guidelines and often align their strategies with national goals like sustainability. Finally, we have communities. As for communities in Peru, people, especially in rural areas, expect visible contributions such as jobs or health services. Leaders must engage actively and show impact. Conversely, Japanese communities value quiet, respectful actions. Leadership is based on consistency and social responsibility over time. Leadership isn't one size fits all. It's shaped by culture, values, and the time we live in.
Japan and Peru show us two different but equally valid paths to effective leadership.
And in both, the future depends on how leaders listen, adapt, and act with integrity.
A strong leadership begins with understanding others across borders, backgrounds, and beliefs.
Because in a globalized world, the best leaders are those who stay grounded yet think beyond themselves. Thanks for watching. And what kind of leader do you want to be?